Welcome to the J Youngblood podcast. If you don't like it, you ain't gotta listen.
What's going on, man? This is your boy Jacob Youngblood back with another podcast, man. And I've been thinking all weekend about this podcast. I was originally supposed to have a guest, didn't really work out, and that's fine. I like doing solo sometimes anyway. Um, so this past weekend was Easter, right? And a big thing for me has always been my family. Seeing them, being able to be a part of that. And that's what this podcast is gonna be about, man. It's gonna be a very vulnerable one, probably, um, because family's everything to me, man. I got 11 siblings. I got tons of nieces, nephews, sister-in-laws. I don't have any brother-in-laws. Well, I do have a brother-in-law. That's right. Um, but he don't, he's my boy. He's my brother. He's not my brother-in-law. But yeah, that's what I've been thinking about all weekend, man. And I just started reminiscing. And I always thought or think about my earliest memory. I think I was like 3 or 4 years old, and I was sitting on on the porch. We used to have this big, long porch. I don't know how long it was, but we had this big, long porch, and me and my grandma on all the way on the end of the porch. There was a white swing. It was set up with chains. Every time you swung back and forth, you could hit it. That's what it sounded like whenever you went back and forth. And I remember sitting there, and to the corner of the house was a light, one of those, I don't know, telephone pole lights or whatever. It would always blink. It would always blink. And me and my grandma would be going back and forth, just kind of slightly. And I always remember her singing songs. Now, I don't remember the songs she sang, but I remember her going back and forth on the swing and singing a song to me until I went to sleep. And then I wake up in my bed and I was like, what the heck? Where am I at? And I don't know why that's been on my mind lately, but it has been for all weekend. And then another thing, man, is so my mom had a ton of kids. Obviously, my mom and dad had a ton of kids. And I always had somebody to go outside and play with. And kids nowadays won't get that. They're inside, playing on their iPads, watching TV, Netflix, whatever, the case may be. But we were outside, man, and she owned a daycare. So we had even more kids to play with at the house. And I remember playing baseball out there, basketball, football, not only with my brothers, but also with, people at the daycare, kids at the daycare, brothers' friends, my friends. And I didn't realize, or I haven't realized how important that was until this past weekend. Um, the reason I say that is because I never realized what those times meant until now that I'm older. I realize it's a lot more important than I thought. That development, that socialization meant a lot. And that was dope. And I think the reason it hit my mind is so I see my niece and nephews playing outside with each other, and they have enough, cousins to where they can do that. You know what I mean? So that's awesome for just being able to sit back and watch what I had as a kid is what they have now, but it doesn't have to be other friends. They got enough friends within cousins to where they don't need like the friends where they come over and play all the time, which is dope, man. It's sick. It's awesome. And seeing my niece grow, Presley, seeing her grow, my brother Aaron's kid, to where she's got her own little personality now. I see my other niece, Justin and Beth's daughter, go from this little peewee to this thing that shouldn't have as much sass as she does, but she does have a lot of sass. And my nephews, Dawson and Brooks, man, they looking like little grown men now. They even say things I'm like, bro, I would never thought of that. Where are you coming up with that from? And then I saw my other nieces and nephews, little Brad, Emmett, and Leilani, and I remember how small they were, and now they their own person talking, joking around. All got their own things they like. They got their own stuff they got going on. And seeing my boy JoJo, Aaron's kid, and seeing how he's developed as a child. And Knox and Bexley. Bexley's my little girl. I love her, man. I used to after school in my senior year, I only had 2 classes, so I come home, chill with her. She couldn't say a word, me and her vibe. Her favorite song at that time was 24's by, T.I., and we used to bounce. She'd be on her little, bike with the little handle at the top so I can push it. We'd be vibing to the T.I. 24's. Yeah, yeah, I can't say the stuff on here talking about my nieces, but you know what I'm talking about, 24's by T.I. And then Knox, man, this boy is a unit. That boy is a unit. He ain't nothing but like 2, 3 foot tall, and that boy, he's a unit. He gonna be a linebacker sometime. But he's a unit, man. Just seeing him grow and seeing him do the things he does, and like seeing my brothers and my sisters become parents, man. It's honestly beautiful. It's kind of dope because you see them growing up, and you see the immaturity, and you see, I mean, you see them at the lowest times. You see them at the highest time, also the lowest times, and then see them develop from you know, young adults to parents is dope, bro. That's sick. I could only imagine how that feels. So that's what I really focus on this weekend, man. And seeing my brother Daryl and his wife Kendall, and just vibing with them. I got a new car, so I drove them or not drove them around, showed them around the new car. Um, just seeing stuff like that, man. It's really makes you reminisce, and reminiscing is a bitch, man. It's a real bitch. Reason being, because I mean, you don't know the good times until the good times are gone. And I wish there was able somebody able to say like, "Oh, you're in the good times now. Like these are the good old days." And that's a bitch, man. Because I remember growing up, in the front yard. We had a big front yard with a couple trees here and there. Had a little wishing well out front, and we would play for hours, bro. Baseball, football. We never called it hide and seek because we thought that was too childish, so we always say we was, playing manhunt. It'd be at birthday parties, all the homies come over, and we do that, and then different, like, parties we had at the house and festivals and get-togethers, bonfires, and you look back, man, it's like, you don't realize how good that was, you was just in the moment. You was just in the moment, you didn't realize how cool that was until you look back on it, and at one point, and this is the saddest part, I think, at one point, we played our last football or baseball game in the front yard altogether, and none of us knew it. But looking back, you don't know what that was or when it was, but we all played that last game in the front yard for the last time. That's crazy, bro. And we didn't even realize it. And now I get to see that through my nieces and nephews. Well, they'll go out and play together. It's a little different now because they ain't really drinking out the water hose like we used to. We weren't allowed inside after with all our sweaty asses out there. But when grandparents or parents turn grandparents, that's when it's like different. Like that's when stuff turned different because you know my parents are soft now. When it comes to the grandkids, they soft. But it's sick, man. Just seeing these kids, my nieces, nephews, going from these teensy, eensy, weensy babies to you know they're not grown obviously, but they got your own. They got their own they got their own personality. They got this stuff going on. They got their own personality. They're different. Like my uh Dawson and Brooks are both twins. And at first, I couldn't tell them apart, but now you can tell them apart not only by their faces, they have different structures here and there, but you can see the different type of personalities they have. And they're both my boys. They're both my boys. Every I called them the other night. I called my brother Justin. I was asking, where my nieces and nephews were because they actually came on Saturday, and I had to come on. Well, they came Saturday during the day. I got there late that night because of work. And I called him because I knew I wasn't going to see him, and he showed me. Well, Paisley was in bed, and then he showed me Brooks and Dawson, and like Jacob, we just saw you sold a car. You must be rich now. I'm like, damn. I wish I was naive like that again. But it was dope seeing them being proud and happy about what I'm doing is sick, bro. It's sick. And then like me and my little niece, Presley, there's a lot of Lees in this family, so it's hard to keep up. But we uh we always look at each other, we play around. She run, I run after her. She'll call me a big fat dummy, I'll call her a big fat dummy because she is a big fat dummy. And Presley, if you listen to this, you still a big fat dummy. And Bexley, that's my little stinker butt. I love her to death. We spend a lot of time together. That's my girl. I remember driving around. I was driving a Mercedes around from work. I don't remember why. But she was like, "Hey," I was like, "What's up, girl?" She's like, "Hey, can we go to Starbucks?" I was like, "Starbucks? Like you? Are you old enough for Starbucks?" She's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want the bumblebee cake pop." I was like, "Girl, you can have whatever you want. You can have whatever you want. What do you want a cake pop? I'll get you a cake pop." So of course, I didn't get a one cake pop. I got a cake pop. I got a two cake pops. And I know her mom's hearing that right now. It's like, Jacob, I wish you wouldn't do that. But I'm the uncle. I'm the fun uncle. I don't. They want two cake pops. They getting two cake pops. I remember my girl getting two cake pops. She was so happy. And that's what I live for now, dude. It's dope. It's really becoming an uncle is sick. I love it. I love it. Absolutely love it. That's my people. That's my absolute people. I love it, man. I absolutely love it. Um, and then seeing my grandparent or my mom and dad become grandparents. Um, and seeing a whole different side of them, man, it's sick. And then getting new family members. Um, Let me see if I can do all my sister-in-laws. You got Taylor, you got Kendall, Beth, Carson, almost Carson. It's wedding month. Shout out Taylor and Carson. They getting married this month. LK and Luke are gonna get married. Hopefully, I'm getting this right. It's either October, November. There's a lot of dates going on this year that I'm really sorry if I'm not getting it right. Um, but it's sick, bro. It's really sick. I love the fact that my family not only is as big as it is, but then you got people added to it. It's dope, bro. It really is. So it made me reminisce a lot. And then this is where it gets sad. I think about the family members that aren't here that won't be able to experience that. And I think certain people realized that before I did. So my brother Luke was getting married. Like I said, October, November, and I remember after my granddad passed, um, he was giving out like different things for whoever was going to be in the wedding, whether it be the bachelor or not the bachelors, right? Whatever it's called, man. The just the wedding party, whatever. I ain't getting married anytime soon. I don't know all this, but I remember he was surprising me, and he told me like, "Hey man, got something for you." I was like, "Oh, where you got something for me?" And he asked me to be a groomsman. There we go. Asked me to be a groomsman, man. It was dope, and I felt a lot of happiness in my heart. And then you know he was talking to me, and he was like, "Man, I really wanted to do this earlier before because I wanted grandfather to be there. Now he won't be able to be there, man." And I remember him talking about that and breaking down. And as a man, a lot of people won't understand, like, it's hard to show those emotions out front in front of people. That's how I knew it hurt this boy, and it hurt me too, but we all deal with it differently. And so I just took him in my arms like, "Listen, bro, like, he may not be here, but he's here," if you know what I mean. I know that hurts, man, it sucks. It absolutely sucks. Life sucks. It's a struggle for sure. But at that point in moment, I think that was a big defining moment between me and his relationship because he realized I was there for him. I'm not just that big brother that used to toss him around and bully him here and there. But bro, I took him in my arms. He had his head on my shoulder crying. I'm like, listen, bro, like, yes, he's not here, but he'll always be here, if you know what I mean. And I know, Luke, you look forward to that. And LK is gonna be a beautiful wife for you, bro. And it's gonna be hard. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be easy because it's not. It's not easy for me. I deal with that every day. We all deal with it differently. But bro, I couldn't be more proud of you because it takes a lot to even be able to have a relationship where you can even attempt or think about, you know, wanting to propose to somebody. It's gonna be sick, bro. It's gonna be sick. I know it sucks. Granddad's not here no more. Grandfather, um, and he's not gonna be there. But we gotta live. We all gotta let him live vicariously through us, and we gotta take that every day. Same with Taylor, bro. I mean, I remember going down there during summers, going on fishing trips and in Panama City, and you know, looking back on that time, just like now, when it comes to reminiscing, it's a bitch, man. It hurts. It's a bitch. It sucks. But at the same times, we got to experience that with him. We may not in the moment been able to be like, yeah, this is a great time, like I'm with my grandfather. But now looking back, though it hurts to reminisce, those times were really good times. It's something we will never forget. We'll take to the grave with us. I remember the lake days going with Uncle Bill, grandfather down to the lake, and grandfather wanted to get up at 6 or no 4 or 5 and go fishing because that's when all the fish were out. And Uncle Bill was like me, bro. We ain't getting up early. That's not for us. I remember them cussing each other out over it. And at the time, like, damn, grandfather, Uncle Bill yelling at each other, blah blah blah. It wasn't funny then, but looking back on it, like that shit was funny. It was funny, like, it's just 2 different people. It's just people who like getting up early, and people that don't like getting up early, and I'm not the type to get up early. So I was more like, I was glad. I was like, "Yeah, we ain't gotta get up till 8, like, this is dope." Um, just stuff like that, and I remember me and Luke going on, grandfather his boat he used to work on, the yacht, and he told us, like, "It's gonna be raining bad, and it's gonna be raining bad." We were still at the port, so it wasn't like anything bad, but I remember it got so bad, Luke started crying. And grandfather, "What are you crying for?" He said, "What are you crying for? We hooked up to the dock. What you crying for?" Just stuff like that, man. And then I remember we were riding down to the lake. So Uncle Bill had a lake house, and obviously had to take a trail to get down to the lake through the woods. And Luke kept hopping off the golf cart. And at first, grandfather was laughing. So Luke was like, "Oh, I'm gonna keep doing it. Papa, jump off. Papa, jump off." Then suddenly and oddly, grandfather's face just turned like everything was straight. And Luke jumped off one more time. Grandfather stopped the golf cart. It wasn't like no dramatic. He just stopped the golf cart, went back to Luke, bent Luke over, and tore his ass up. He looked Luke in the face and said, "I'm a grown man. I can back up what I say." And at the moment, I was just like astonished. I was like, Luke just got his ass whooped. Luke the Duke just got his ass whooped. And listen, like the ride was only like 30 seconds to get to the lake, but it felt like 2 years. It was so awkward. But we can look on back on that now, and it's like, bro, like that was why was you jumping off? You deserve an ass whooping for that. You deserve an ass whooping. And other things like going to Uncle Bill's house in Beach Island, right? He had a ton of cars, man, Camaros, Corvettes. He had this big boat. Um, and I remember at this time skateboarding was big. We was playing a lot of the Tony Hawk games, so we all had a skateboard, and he had this little pad of concrete. And I remember Luke was riding it, not doing too well. We were both riding it, not doing too well. Uncle Bill was like, "You know what? Let me try that thing." And it's a little bit on the hill, it's a little slant. Uncle Bill gets on. first immediately when his foot and his body weight land on that skateboard, he busted his ass. Fell back on the floor. And obviously me and Luca laughing. And Uncle Bill wasn't wanting to be upset. He's like, damn, I just busted my ass. Yeah, you did bust your ass, Uncle Bill. You did, man. Like I said, like, it sucks. Because you look back on it and you realize, like, it's not, we're not where we were at before. We're not the kids we weren't.
Switching the topic a little bit. This is gonna get a little dark. My mom's gonna cringe when I say this because she hates talking about it. But the less we talk about, about it, the more cliche and the more cringe it's gonna be. What are y'all's thoughts on death? What actually happens? This is a tale known as longest time. I think it's a very interesting topic because everybody does it, but nobody knows anything about it at the end. No one knows anything about it at the end. Like, truly, everybody has their takes on it, right? Everyone does. But no one has been there and been back. So it's like, well, what is that? It's the unknown. And a lot of people, whether it's Christians or whoever's listening right now, are going to look at me, oh, he's the Antichrist. He's questioning God. And I'm like, no, I'm not questioning God at all. I'm just a very curious person and I ask questions. And I'm going to continue asking questions for the rest of my life. And I'm going to continue being curious because I have questions in my life. And just because people don't like those questions or it makes them uncomfortable doesn't mean I'm not going to ask them. I'll just ask someone who's unable to tell me. And so far, nobody can tell me what happens after we die. All I can say is I don't remember being not alive. And I wasn't dead, right? So before I was born, I wasn't dead. I just wasn't alive. It's a weird state to be in, right? Like, I think about like my little brother, my nieces and nephews. They weren't dead, right? But they weren't alive yet. So that's kind of a weird concept to try to wrap our minds around. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know what happens after we die. We just live the best way we can.
But what I gotta say, man, is I miss my family. I love my family. Family is everything to me. I know I kind of got off on a tangent there. I miss everybody. I miss my dogs, my homies, Logan, Brad, all the homies, Alex, Zach. I miss the homies. I love the homies, and I love my family, man. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to get with them and hang out with them on things like Easter and seeing everybody, seeing my family, seeing my second mama, Miss Janet, and seeing my second grandmama, Big Mama, just doing stuff like that, man. It's dope. I love it. And, life is getting harder and harder as we grow up. And, we ain't kids no more. We don't get to do the same things we used to do. But, there's beauty in that, and then things aren't always going to be the same. And, it is what it is. And you're going to have people that hate on you growing up. As you grow up and go through this struggle, you're going to have people that, don't believe in you, and that's fine. If you ain't got haters, then, you messing up anyway. You got to have haters, man. Haters is what keeps the world going, honestly. So if you ain't got haters, man, you need to add some by the end of the summer or before the summer. Get you some haters, because if you ain't got enough haters, you're doing something wrong. Need to have haters. And if you ain't got nobody to hate on out there, please hate on me. Please come out, hate on me. Please do. Tell me I ain't pretty. Tell me my eyes ain't pretty. Tell me I ain't beautiful. Tell me all this stuff, man. Tell me whatever you want. If you ain't got haters, you got to have them. And to my family, man, I love every single one of y'all. All the struggles I went through, everything, growing up with y'all, being around y'all. Nana, I love you. You're a strong woman. Mom, Dad, all my siblings, all my nephews, all my cousins, all my aunts and uncles. I love every single one of y'all, and I wish y'all nothing but the best, man. And like I said, if you ain't got no haters, you need to get at least 10 by the summer. Man. And if you ain't got nobody to hate on, please hate on me. Tell me I ain't beautiful when I know I am. Tell me I ain't the best looking when I know I am. Just whatever you feel, bro. Whatever you feel. Life is a feeling process. So if you need somebody to hate on, do your thing, come hate on me. I'm down. I love being hated on. It makes me a better person when people hate on me. But yeah, reminiscing is a bitch, man. Looking back on life and seeing everything come full circle to seeing where my nieces and nephews are now and realizing that used to be me. Somebody used to look at me that way, the way I look at my nieces and nephews. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And I enjoy life. I love life. I love the struggle of life. There's ups, there's downs, but life is a feeling process. Life is also a healing process, and it's dope, man. You just gotta live, And a lot of people ask me if I'm doing okay. I'm doing great, man. I haven't been this happy in a while. I haven't been this content in a while. I'm good with where I'm at. I'm good with who I am, and I just gotta keep going life and doing my thing, and nobody's going to outdo me. Nobody's going to be better than me. I'm not going to allow that to happen. I'm a very motivated person. I'm always down for a fight, and I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to lose, man. I'm not going to lose. I'm not a loser. I'm never going to be a loser. I'm a winner. Winners win. That's what I'm going to do. So all my family, everybody, just know we're going to be taken care of one day. I don't know when that day is going to be coming or when that day is, but it's going to happen, bro. And when it does happen, I ain't going to tell nobody, but there'll be signs, bro. There'll be signs. You see me posted up in the G-Wagon in West Palm, just know. But anyways, like I said, if you need somebody to hate on, you need somebody to, front on, you need somebody to hate on me. Tell me I ain't beautiful when I know I am, bitch. This has been the Jacob Youngblood, the J Youngblood, the Young Pablo, J Money Experience. Thank you for listening, and I'll be tuned in again this Saturday. Thank you.
Live your motherfucking life. You gotta get your motherfucking hustle. Understand niggas is gonna hate you regardless. Get that out of your head, that fantasy world where niggas ain't hating on you. You gotta be grateful. You need haters. What the fuck is you complaining about? What the fuck do you think a hater's job is? To fucking hate. So let them motherfuckers do their goddamn job. What the fuck is you complaining about? Ladies, if you got 14 women hating on you, you need to figure out how the fuck to get to 16 before the summer get here. The fuck is you mad about? Fellas, if you got 20 haters, you need 40 of them motherfuckers. What is you complaining about? If there's any haters in here right now that don't have nobody to hate on, feel free to hate on me. Sit back there and say my hair ain't luxurious when you know it is, bitch.